Greetings from Snake Mountain Boatworks on Friday, May 22, 2020. Yesterday we took one out, put her in the water, and she's ready to romp. Today we have the opportunity to transform this 1959 Lyman 16.5-foot runabout into all she used to be. We will be doing a complete strip, stem to stern rebuild, and once we're finished, she'll never be Susan, but she's going to be as beautiful as she can be. I'm just going to let Joe walk around and sort of point out the kinds of challenges we face as we begin this project. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so as I was looking at it yesterday, and one of my big concerns is the decks on this. It's all plywood that started to delaminate kind of all over the place, and there's actually chunks of deck that were supposed to be there but are now missing. So once we take all the hardware and the windshield off, you know, we'll be able to strip it and get a little bit more of an assessment on it, but I can already see that the deck panels may need to be replaced. As far as the windshield, we have one panel on the starboard side where it's not on this one, but the whole laminate on this
on the port side.
On the port side is it's completely punky. You can move it, and it's the lamination failed on it.
We'll after we stripped it, we'll inspect that and try to save it. But if it's gone, we'll simply send the wing to Tom Karakne in Ohio, who is Dr. Lyman, and Tom has magical in his ability to reproduce windshield components on almost any Lyman.
Another thing is the hull sides look great right now, but until we get them stripped, we don't really know what the damage is on it. The inside of the hull is absolutely beautiful. I mean, other than needing to probably be scuffed and put some more Cetal gloss on it, it actually looks pretty solid and not in that bad a shape right now.
You're talking about the walls.
You're right, the inside.
Yeah, because all of this, everything you see here comes out. I mean, everything. That's an interesting wheel. I don't think that came out of Sandusky. We maybe do some work on that. The dashboard's got a couple of empty holes. So this is an outboard engine, outboard powered boat. So it gets switched up and repowered from time to time.
Another thing we have is the seat right here has been cracked. It looked like it was maybe a butt joint at one time. But what we'll do is we'll take it apart after we strip it, and we'll probably biscuit it so that way it's nice and strong again. And like I said, everything is coming out of this boat, so we are going to have it bare bones by the time we're done.
One really nice thing I noticed is she still has her original floorboards, and even the little clips that hold the floorboards down at the aft end. I also like the fact that the battery is tucked way back up here on starboard, well out of everybody's way. There's a good bilge pump hiding down there. We'll make sure that's functional. This boat spent a fair amount of time in salt water, so that will give us particular challenges, because salt water and bronze screws are just not buddies.
The back deck actually looks really nice still, so that is probably going to be able to be saved. Once again, that's all just, it looks like 5/16 plywood. The biggest problem I see on this boat is the transom.
And this corner.
And this corner here. But you can see, over time, there must have been rot.
Please call me back.
So over time, you see that there has been rot, and it was been filled with some kind of putty or adhesive, or actually it may even be some kind of premium filler. But it's cracked all along this bottom plank, so it's going to be a real challenge to get this transom out and do a major remake on it.
It's pretty clear that our major challenge, of course, we haven't seen the bottom of the boat yet, but with all of this kind of filler, all of this kind of filler that Joe was just talking to you about.
And there's a huge chunk right here that's just all complete filler.
So that tells us that this transom has seen way better days, and we'll have to replace it completely. I think it's rather interesting. It looks like somebody attempted to refinish the transom, got to here and said, let's go get a beer. It won't look that way when we finish it.
Right, and on this splash here, it's you can actually tell it's a little punky towards the back, so we may end up having to put a Dutchman on this splash rail.
There's so much paint on it, it's hard to read the top sides.
Right, yeah, there is an absolute mess of paint. And at one point, there was a Dutchman made on this deck. You can see, so we're going to change that and get that fixed and have it come to that seam alone.
What I don't like here is, see the way the wood's starting to break right in here? That tells me that not to be surprised if we find a bunch of rot down in there.
Right, yeah, especially on this deck too. You can see on this king plank right here. Over time, I don't know if something was pulled up on this ring or what, but you can see that there's a dip there and it rises up here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a frame member in there that's either warped or cracked.
Yeah, most likely cracked. Most likely somebody jumped on the boat right there.
That's assuming, because it is quite stringy there, so.
But other than that, the crown on the foredeck is pretty good. This plywood that's on here just does not look to me to be the original plywood, because Lyman used ribbon cut plywood, and this is anything but. Or maybe it's just because it's got all these splotches. It's kind of like a brook trout in appearance. Somebody's been at this at some time, and the issue always with plywood is that unless you really know what you're doing, you sand right through that outer veneer, and then you've got this ugly alligatoring that you cannot get rid of. I agree with Joe. I think there's a good chance she'll leave Snake Mountain Boatworks sporting a new foredeck and possibly a new king plank.
Once again, it's hard to tell on these boats that got about 40, 50 years of paint on it. But the stem, I've seen the last couple I've done where the stem may appear to be good, but until we get it stripped, we won't really be able to tell.
But these 16.5-foot runabouts are just wonderful, wonderful little boats. You can carry 6 people in them. I can't remember what Chris has on this boat for an engine, but I think he's in search of a period correct engine as part of this process. So, now that you've been introduced to her, we'll go to work deconstructing her, taking lots and lots of photographs as we do, and we'll keep you with us along the journey as we proceed from arrival to post-preservation debut. That's our introduction to this 1959 16.5-foot Lyman Runabout. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boatworks.